Day 2 Flower Expo back in Massachusetts, standing a nice firm spot of ground on planet Earth in Massachusetts, which is pretty cool because we get to stand in so many places with Meat Unshackled. I'm here with, I like to say the lady with the coolest hair in the entire Flower Expo, but that's probably not relevant to the conversation. But I'm with Tiffany and Joshua from Solar Cannabis Company. How are you guys doing?
Doing excellent.
Thanks for asking.
How are you guys enjoying the show so far?
No, it's been good. Minus that rain, that torrential downpour.
I like the rain. It came at the right time. Or maybe it got you guys stuff wet.
Okay. It wasn't exactly the right time. I'm not going to be a weather hater, but
it came at the end of the day.
it was into the day.
Yeah, which worked out. Okay. Imagine if it was the beginning of the day.
Yeah, then I would have been mad.
Yeah, and we have a beautiful day today, and I'm like a Native American, so I can predict how the weather is going to go here. We're going to have a little bit of drizzle, but we're not going to have a thunderstorm. Not like yesterday.
I'm going to hold you to that.
We're going to be good. We're going to be good. I can see. I watched the patterns of like the ants and how they walk and stuff, and it is what it is. You know, I've got that background. So Tiffany and Joshua, it's great. It's nice to meet you guys.
Pleasure's
Awesome.
mine.
What is solar cannabis?
Solar cannabis is awesome, number one.
It's awesome.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, we're called solar. We cover the obvious out of the gate. Yes, we do have a solar array on site at our headquarters in Somerset, Massachusetts, where we power the entire facility with the sun. We absolutely love that. We have our flagship store out there. We've got 3 others, Seekonk, Dartmouth, and Rhode Island. So we've recently expanded.
Okay, and what do you guys do?
We are vertically integrated. So we have manufacturing, we have a kitchen out there, we've got definitely retail, and we have a grow.
Okay, I'm just taking notes, you know, because I learn and then I take notes and I tie things around. Been in this industry for a while, so I can follow most of this stuff. So go back, solar cannabis. You're vertically integrated.
Yep.
But could you repeat that again? Sorry, because I lost my chain. You guys are vertically integrated.
Yes.
You do manufacturing.
We do. So we have
Retail.
manufacturing, retail. We have cultivation.
Cultivation.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are branded products, branded retail, and branded flower, all three.
Indeed.
Okay, very cool. So you guys started in Massachusetts.
Yes.
So technically, you are an MSO.
No.
No. Well, it's multi-state operator, maybe an MSP, a multi-state player.
Ooh.
You know,
Now we're on to a topic. I like that one.
Because you guys are in more than one state.
We are.
Technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, that's, I like the MSBs, the multi-state brands. You know, those are like so you have an MSB.
We do. We would fall into that category too, but I like player.
Yeah, and MSOs, they got a bad rap.
Of course.
But that's not fair. They're just MSOs. They're just companies that are doing their thing.
They are.
If anything, probably the whole weird publicly traded Canadian finance thing should be their bad rap. But an individual company in one state could have done that too. So.
An individual company could do that in a state, in anywhere they want to.
Yeah.
Right? So they do have a bad rap, but it doesn't have to be that way. So as long as we don't forget about our smaller operations, where cannabis came from, we don't ever want to forget that.
Multi-state mom and pop operator, MSMP.
Feel like that's a lot.
Yeah.
Feel like that's a bit.
But I feel like you guys are like a mom and pop operation. That's you guys feel like,
Well, I'll tell you, in the sense of us being kind of like a family and taking care of our clients as well as ourselves, I think that fits.
So how long has solar been around? 2016, 17, 18? When did it start?
2018.
2018?
Yeah.
And the first store was Somerset?
Mm-hmm.
Somerset. And you do have a solar panel?
Yeah, we do.
We
do panels.
Panels? What do the solar panels do? I mean, it's just...
Harness electricity from the sun.
You got me on that one. Well, what are they? I like that. No, what do they do for the company? I mean,
absolutely. No, we harness the electricity and then we use it to power the entire facility, corporate offices included.
That's cool. And the goal probably is one day to have all of the products, all of the cultivated flower, packaged flower that's sold at Solar Cannabis be produced by the sun.
I think that's probably in the vision somewhere.
That would be pretty cool. I am a huge proponent. I've been in this since 2012. I've watched all the transition from the necessary indoor lighting, production of cannabis, to the legal indoor lighting production of cannabis and the adoption and the obsession with indoor lighting.
Yeah.
But it's a solar plant. It's a plant that should be
full circle.
Yeah.
From the air and the sky and the sun through the ground, right? So we love the idea, and I think that what we're really doing, our ideology is to lighten the footprint that cannabis is already leaving behind. We've got a lot of packaging across the country. We've got child resistance that is we have to have, and it causes a lot of things left behind. So we all have to try to do our part to lighten that load.
So what? So the names of the retail entities are Solar
Cannabis Co. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The branded products are called
Solar
gummies, solar
gummies,
vapes.
Yeah. Solar vapes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how this is going.
Yeah.
Solar vape, solar flower.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, what? My producer's a big fan of that. So what's your branded flower called? Solar what?
It's solar. We have a few different types, and I'll let Josh cover the different types that we have. So
yeah, and where I was going with this, because I think everything should be solar. So like the branded flower to me, like
all this.
that branded flower one day will probably be on the shelves across the country. Arizona sun-grown cannabis, for example. Why not? I mean, if you're in New York City, do you want to buy like Arizona indoor grown or Arizona sun grown? Do you want to buy New York indoor grown, or do you want to buy
some of that sun?
Arizona sun grown. So you guys got solar flower, whatever that, and that's what I was trying to figure out what you guys' prominent flower is with the name solar in it, because I'm gonna memorize that and get that down. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
We just have a numerous amount of strains over at Solar. We're constantly producing new ones, so it's kind of hard just to put a name on one. But the brand itself is the staple, and we just try and keep up with a quality level, that will be great for the consumers as well as, other businesses as well.
Yeah.
And how did you guys get into cannabis? Where were you working before Solar, and what year did you start with Solar?
I started with Solar 5 months ago.
Just 5 months ago?
Yeah, I'm a transplant from out west. I've been in cannabis for 32 years. I have been working the cannabis marketplace, and I'm an activist from the late 80s. So
80s. Excellent.
Yeah, that's where I came from.
And so you came from where in the west?
California.
You came from California. You came from all the way. Your transplant out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You came all the way out to Massachusetts to work for Solar.
No, not just to work for Solar, but to be a part of a different market. I've worked in markets all across the country, so traveling with cannabis is kind of synonymous. So I've been kind of building brands for different companies across the country and working in biotech and cannabinoid research.
Right.
And that is what originally brought me to the East Coast. But Solar had an opportunity and a brand that I could believe in. So I was like, you know what? Let me go spend some time with you guys.
So having been around and seeing a lot of different things, and maybe you don't want to mention any other companies you work for, what is it about Solar that said, you know what? These are the guys that are doing it right, Massachusetts on the East Coast, compared to the West Coast and all your other experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I like emerging markets, number one.
Yes.
Okay, so this market is emerging. I like to see where it is. And this is about the time period of emergence where you see real true innovation and you see change makers. And I want to be a part of change wherever it's happening in cannabis, because I've been working in policy too long to leave a state behind. That's one. And when I saw that there was a solar powered effort going into lightening the footprint of cannabis, I was all the way in. I did a webinar last year that was on sustainability in the cannabis place with the National Cannabis Industry Association. I sit on one of their committees. And it was enlightening to see how much waste we have and how little infrastructure we have to do anything about it.
Right.
And so I wanted to be a part of a company that was pointed in the right direction at the point in the time of a marketplace where emergence, it turns into innovation,
right? And
be there to get my hands dirty.
We love the NCIA, and I love the vibe. They're like a sister organization wise. We love them. And you're absolutely right. I always worry about government mandates in this subject area, but I love companies who have the innovation, and we can get out the message. People can get educated. People, if they believe in the message of sustainability, which is an important message, right, they can come shop with you guys.
Yep.
A preference, a choice. And you guys grabbed that idea and you ran with it, and you're hopefully going to nail it over time, and that's really good.
That's the goal.
I like the thing. Normal. Did you work with Normal, DPA, MPP, all those guys?
I've worked with Normal. I've worked with a few organizations, and I am particular about where I hang my hat.
Yeah.
Because my work is important to me, and for me, it's people and process and power when it comes to cannabis. And if I don't see those things present, I just go take my hat somewhere else.
Yes, I have a deep deep relationship with the policy community, having helped draft initiatives, referendums, that kind of stuff, and
Nice.
worked on legislation. And it is everything. I mean, and we don't need to geek out about this, but you could write dissertations about should there be civil versus criminal sanctions in cannabis. You could write dissertations about supply chain and market structure. You could write dissertations about the transition from medical to adult use. You could write a dissertation about the transition from the existing, what we call the black market reality, to what we call the tax and regulate market. I mean, these are massive.
You can create a supposition off of that one that says, what do we do about all the people of color in which much of the cannabis industry is built upon? What do we do about their barriers of getting into the marketplace that, originally incarcerated them or burnt down their fields or shut them completely down? What are we going to do about that? So that's like a little separate dissertation, and we can probably branch off into that. There's a lot.
Yeah,
there's huge amounts to unpack.
And that one is a tough issue. I mean, that's one of the toughest issues, because we wrestled with that issue just recently. For example, in Arizona, and we had 4,000 people, color people that were tied to drug convictions in some capacity, pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, went through the educational program, tried to get into the marketplace, and then because they limited the number of licenses for social equity applicants to 26, that only 26 were able to get through. And to me, it was a tragedy, because you had 3,900 and some odd individuals who were like, hey, I know about this community. I know about the wrongs. I know about what happened before. Now I want to get involved as a business person. Oh, wait, government says stop.
Right.
But 26 of you guys are lucky enough to win. Congratulations. So it's 26, but it just doesn't seem right. I know they didn't limit their number of social equity licenses that they're giving to Massachusetts for delivery, which is a very important note. I don't know what social equity is. I don't think anybody really does.
They really don't. They really don't.
And we all have our own mind, but limiting licenses stops opportunity.
Right. So it's kind of a wool that gets pulled over the eyes. They say, we're going to remove barriers for you, but we're going to back it up to a certain point. We're either going to lock you into one portion of the supply chain of the marketplace, or we're going to limit the amount of you that can come in through the door. Yeah. So seats at the table should be unlimited, as they are for everyone else. But when it comes to people of color, there's always a limitation put on how many seats we can have. And I'd like to see that be eradicated.
We gave Eric a seat.
I see that. I see that.
He's
and he's loving life about it too.
I love that. I love that. Look at that. He's the only one around here with the seat. No, that's good.
So you're treating him special, and that's good. There we go.
I love when advocacy meets business. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That is. I've watched so many over the last 10 years. When we really started dispensaries in Arizona in 2012, I wasn't much of an advocate. I was actually an ex-prosecutor. Didn't really think at all about marijuana, except for I was like, probably shouldn't use it. That's what Nancy Reagan said. But then we would prosecute so many young people that were like bringing marijuana from the cartels through the corridors into Casa Grande, Phoenix, Tucson, shipping it out east, Boston, New York. And I was just watching, and I was like, these guys are all just really good entrepreneurs. It is what it is. The law is what it is. But these guys, it's like they're like the guys taking rugs from the Middle East to Italy. You know what I'm saying? These guys just see a trade route and have identified it.
Absolutely.
And they're moving a product. And I was like, this just doesn't. You know what? I don't have time for this. I got domestic violence on my mind. I got domestic violence prosecution to deal with. Whatever. It's just probation. Don't do it again. Suspended sentence. Don't do it again. And inevitably, what happens? They violate probation, and the jails get full.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't. A lot of prosecutors thinking about this stuff. Even the chief prosecutor, his role is to decide where we spend our resources. He's like financial crimes, domestic violence, crimes that involves guns, marijuana. He didn't like cocaine though. He really got angry.
Mad about the cocaine.
He got mad about the cocaine.
Well,
I don't know.
What are you going to do? Advocacy has to be a huge portion of it. I teach advocacy actually for a cannabis university out of California.
Okay.
And I always start every class off with going, you've entered the cannabis space. You're now an advocate. You didn't think you were an activist before. You are one now, because we advocate for the people who we've left behind. But most importantly, we advocate for the plant. We want to have freedom when it comes to this plant. And so that is the first lesson that people have to learn. You enter the cannabis space, you're already low-key an activist.
I've taken that mantra of freedom to a whole nother level. I am a free market advocate. I was talking to the 2 police officers here earlier. I'm like, what is your directive from the chief of police around here about cracking down on non-licensed businesses?
Yeah.
He's like, who are you? I'm like, well, I'm just, I understand this stuff. I've been around for a while. He's like, honestly, we just don't care. He's like, it's a pound, but he's like, we're not even paying attention to that stuff. We will deal with marijuana loads if they're attached to fentanyl or cocaine or something else. Then we'll include the charge, but we just don't care. And that happens at the granular level. How tax and regulate works. I mean, it's a crazy, wild world that we live in for people who understand policy.
Yeah.
It's an exciting market. I'm sorry, we just keep keep geeking out. Let's talk about you. How'd you get into the industry?
I actually started off like everybody else at a time where it was not, legal. And I found my way over to solar a few months ago, and ever since then I haven't looked back.
And who founded solar? Who's this person with this vision?
Edward Dow.
Edward Dow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he still owns it.
He does. He's CEO.
And so what's next? By the way, you have really cool hair too. We got the cool hair club, right?
That's what we do.
I don't have cool hair.
You're about to show us, but I
don't. I was thinking about showing it, but it's not that cool. Anyways, whatever. What's next for solar? What's you guys got your brand,
right?
And can your brand be sold throughout? You said Rhode Island and Massachusetts, right?
Massachusetts, yeah.
So can you find solar cannabis in other dispensaries in Rhode Island and Massachusetts?
In Rhode Island right now, no. We're just expanding there.
Right.
But in Massachusetts, we're trying to take it over. So yes, you can definitely find us on the shelves.
Excellent. That's good to know. So we should see solar branded cannabis migrating across the country as solar expands through that. And maybe solar retail. Retail's it's hard.
It is.
Because of the licensing structure. Expansion in retail is really challenging.
Yep. We've got 4 stores, and yes, we definitely want to expand, but it's a journey, and we're on the path.
One step at a time.
Yeah. So like Mita right now, we're focusing on brands because brands ultimately are a lot more mobile, and hopefully when interstate commerce comes and stuff, they can transition and flow smoothly. Right now, they're doing everything they can to set up manufacturing, white labeling, whatever, in any way possible across country. You guys are in 2 states. There's brands like Wild, Wana, and others that are in 18, 22 states. Everybody's mixing it up, trying to do this thing. But we were talking about to the canned drink guys yesterday. It cost $750,000 for them to set up a manufacturing plant. Times 50 states. Well, that's insane. It's not 50 states yet, but that just doesn't work. So, it's going to be long-term. The brands are going to be the mobility, the fluidity, and we're excited about that. And that's ultimately what the consumers and patients want.
Right.
People in Massachusetts want stuff from the Emerald Triangle in California, just like people in California will want stuff from the Emerald Triangle in Massachusetts, where we're at right now, right? Right. They'll want solar cannabis.
They want solar. Yeah, no, it is. So we have to be mindful of our consumers. Our consumers are becoming a lot more educated about cannabis, and we have to keep up with that. We have to keep them excited about buying this plant because it is just one plant. We're all out there selling the same thing. It does come down to branding. It comes down to your brand and your ethos. What's your company really about? What can we stand for? What do we stand against? Right. And, what are we doing to make sure that the clients are getting exactly what they want, quality wise, message wise, price wise, everything. So we have to, I keep my eye on that. Yeah. I keep my eye on the trends that come directly from consumers because their drivers are what helps us innovate.
Yeah, it's awesome. Hey, they're lucky to have you. This is really good stuff. Excellent. So how do people find solar cannabis? How do they find you? How do they find you? How do they find your company as well?
Okay, so for me personally, they can find me under Lady Canna just about anywhere. Because I think that's what most people know me by. For solar, solarcannabisco.com, solar.com, and on all social media that way. And,
on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn for me.
Lady Canna on LinkedIn?
No, Tiffany Watkins, but I'm the only one that pops up with this hawk. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That is a hawk. I have a mini hawk. I'm going to show you my mini hawk. But go ahead.
Oh,
how do people find you? Yeah.
Pop out anytime at Solar. You can follow me on Instagram at DAGANJIER, Daganjier. I'm studying to, learn more about psychotropic effects about cannabis without testing the plant, just from look and smell and taste. So
Gangier.
The Gangier programs.
I like that.
Yeah, those are great.
That's good. Hey, so yeah, look at my little thing here.
All right, show it to us. Love the skin you're
I
in.
got my little thing.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
I get the skin here.
Yes.
It's like a little. If I put it up,
There you
it's a
go.
little short right now, but I can do like a little mini Eeyore
Love.
walk here.
Love.
You know what I'm
Got a
saying?
little fade going around the side too. It's
Right?
nice.
Yeah, but I gotta prop it up here. We should have done my hair before that we did this show. Anyways, it was great meeting you guys.
Pleasure's
Pleasure.
all
I can
ours.
hear you so much better now. No disrespect to Tree. But we will catch you guys, and I don't know if we're gonna have time to go to your shop. We're out of Boston, tomorrow. So, but we will definitely look forward to seeing you and whatever assistance we can be to help other people learn about your brand as it migrates across the country. We would love to do that. That's what Media USA is going to be about.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us on.
This has been another episode of Meat Unshackled.